Which is why I'm saying it's so commendable to see somebody like Rema release a project that is so different from what he's known for and will never get the acclaim that some of his more mainstream projects get, but he did it anyway because that's what he wanted to get out of his system. And I think that's what we need more of in our industry. People who are willing to take that step, even if it might not be accepted as much, just because you feel the need to do that. Just for the love of the game.
Yeah. Story come, story. Yeah, it was 3:15 on the way to hit the lick. Had to make sure we were strapped, had to make sure there's a click. Mikey always kept a bag, so I had to take a hit. Got my head up in the clouds, but my morals in the ditch. But I had to make a bag, and I had to make it quick. Baby mama on my ass, told her I would go legit. Bitch, psyche, I lied, I promised that I tried. Baby, I'm a thug, I got money on my mind. I got money on my mind. Baby, I'm a thug, I got money on my mind.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 30% podcast, episode 149, 1 to 150. Almost there, almost at 150. I don't know what 150 is going to bring us, but we're almost there. My name is Sam. As usual, I am joined by my co-host with the most.
Your name is Sam, as usual.
Yeah. Or as usual. My co-host with the most, Afam Efuna Onyebadi. He's here with us today. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. And as you know by now, if you're new here, there's a podcast about the Kenyan music for the Kenyan industry. We just talk about everything that's going on, artistry, music industry. We talk about fun stuff, the not so fun stuff. We talk about it all. We try to. The opinions of two producers. Just trying to figure it out, man. I don't know what to tell you. Afam, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm just disappointed I'm the host with the most, but not the mostest. Like, I thought I'd be the host with the most.
The host? You could be the hostess with the mostest.
Oh, is that usually reserved for hostesses?
If that's what you want to do.
My bad.
We could also do that. I can remix it. I can start again. Do you want me to say, yo, what's going on, everyone? I can start again.
No. I'm good. You know what? Let me not even complain. I'm actually content.
Let me not complain.
This is what happens sometimes when you complain. Yeah, this is what happens sometimes when you complain. You might actually get adverse things to what you expected. So, yeah, I'm doing good. Just living life in Brooklyn as usual. Even me, I'm living as usual. Yeah.
The as usual boys.
The as usual boys, bro. Like, what else do they expect from us?
Yeah,
the usual.
I don't know.
It's actually good to not set our expectations too high. Let me tell you, man. Sometimes when those expectations
I feel like that's
high,
one of the worst things you could do, because then you just sit around and just do what's in front of you rather than trying to change the world.
You always have to leave room for people to be impressed. Like, you have to leave, because listen, it's true.
That's a fact.
So that's why it's good being an as usual boy. It's good being as usual boys, because bro, listen, when you do something great, people will be like, oh my God, that's actually so impressive.
I think
that whole time the impressive thing is actually your usual. You know what I mean? So you have to scam. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Like, you're describing every single African politician right now. The politicians are the as usual boys, the original as usual boys in every single government all across Africa is the as usual boys. That's what you're describing. I don't think that's a good mentality that the citizens should uphold to. Don't be as usual. Be something. Be something great.
When it comes to politics, yes, be great and do the right things, guys. Of course, that's not what I'm trying to say. Using the podcast responsibly. Aside from just being an as usual boy, I mean, I've been watching a lot of. Do you know what I've started watching again? Malcolm in the Middle. Like, I don't know why. I just wanted to take a nostalgia trip.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm on
Dang,
season
that's
1.
heavy
Like I'm actually
nostalgia.
almost done with season 1. Yeah, it's so heavy, man.
Yes,
I like it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
know.
Let's not cringe out the people too much.
Oh. Yeah.
But I did.
Well, it was only
it led
cringe
me
until
to
you said
having.
it was.
Okay. But it led me to having a sort of philosophical question.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And I'm watching this show, and I'm. It's just so nostalgic and entertaining, and I'm loving every second of it because it just reminds me of. Do you know what it reminds me of? It distinctly reminds me of being on holiday, specifically the April holidays, and just like a random lunchtime watching Malcolm in the Middle. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason I only ever watched Malcolm in the Middle during the April or August holidays, and it just reminds me of that and this is like in primary school. It reminds me of that specific feeling. I don't know why, and it's such a comfortable feeling. But the philosophical question it led me to have, I don't know if it's philosophical per se, but so kids growing up now, like Gen Z kids, and I'm talking about like real Gen Z or Gen Alpha kids, right? Do you think if they watched a show like Malcolm in the Middle today, it will hit the same for them? Do you think they'll watch that with like, because think about it. For me, I'm watching it through the lens of nostalgia. And so I have so many emotions like tied to it. And that's why I enjoy it so much. But do you think if somebody watched this show for the first time, never had anything about it, like they're just experiencing it raw for the first time, do you think they'll enjoy it as much? I feel like a Gen Alpha or a Gen Zer.
Well, the thing about this new generation is I feel like with the age of technology, they are forced to think about. It's weird. I feel like they're forced to think about things more and think about things less. Think about things less in the terms in social media, because social media is just really brain rot floating around. It's just a whole pool of brain rot just floating, and that's all you get. But then I do feel like sometimes there is the need to think deeper about. It's almost like they feel like they need to think deeper about the other stuff, and so you find like a sleeper, just a 14-year-old kid who's really diving deep into these shows and like, no, I really like this show because it brings out this and that, and it's just like it's a fun thing. I don't know. I think a lot of them will consider it very boring because some of the shows are very boring though.
No, Malcolm in the Middle was by far not a boring show. But do you think it's for me? It's like, for me, yeah. Okay, so you know what? Maybe even this is where I go wrong, because I'm going to defend it with my millennialness. But I do find that very sad, and this happens to me as well, in the sense that, like, you know, there'd be like older people talking about, oh man, I listened to this album when I was a kid and it's so good, and then you're like, bet, let me try and listen to it now. And it just doesn't hit the same. Like, you can appreciate that the music, is good. Like, you can say, wow, this is high quality music, but it doesn't elicit like a feeling deeper than that, like, objective appreciation that the music is good. And that's so sad. I feel like that's such a sad thing.
Or sometimes you just realize that the music isn't as good as you thought it was, honestly. Like there's some of those older R&B joints that there was that period of R&B where everyone was singing off. Looking at JoJo in them, and we're really vibing to that music. Even some of the like Jamaican stuff. It's like, but it's nostalgia is what keeps us going back. Because some of those songs
I think
are
it's
terrible.
also because of how it just affected the masses. Like, some of those older songs, like, even if like they weren't as great technically, but it's because everybody was rocking to them. It was a moment. You go to school, all your friends are talking about JoJo. You go to school, everyone is talking about Bow Wow. You go to school, everyone is talking about this and that.
Wow.
Like, bro.
I've never had that name in such a long time. Bow Wow.
Or Lil Romeo.
Yeah, oh man, I remember that whole crew.
Like, bro, I
boys.
feel like, I know, man. Like, I feel like it's like you had to be there type of moment, and that energy is what makes you appreciate the art even more than what it is, because it's just tied to so many things, Like like, bro, when I hear like some of the dancehall songs that came out in between the years 2008 to
Fam,
2012,
have you
it
heard
just
some of those
takes me to
mixes?
high school.
But have you heard some
I know,
of those
but
mixes though?
Bro, I was
Terrible.
listening to some of the mixes and I'm like, bro, these songs are like mixed really badly. But when
Not
those
at
songs
all.
used to come on, like Mascama Road,
Oh, yeah, here
there used to
goes.
be a song like that we used to listen to a lot of times. And bro, you used to listen to that stuff and it just takes me back to 2009 when I'm in like Form 1 and I'm just like experiencing like music with all these other kids in a boarding school. And but then you play that
Yeah.
for a Gen Zer now and they're like, bro,
This is terrible.
okay, like
It's terrible.
I mean, like, why am I
Yeah.
trying to listen to this shit?
I feel like just feeling like some of those shows, some of them would be good, some of them will still hit, because I think if you have a good great art crosses generations, right? So if you have a really good show that's well written, well produced, the actors did their job well, translated the emotion that they were supposed to translate, and all of that, I think that will endure. We're still watching some of the older movies from today because they're great, not because of nostalgia. Maybe that's part of it, but then for example, for me, like albums like Thriller, which when they were out, I wasn't necessarily paying attention. I was not even around during that time. I wasn't like really paying attention to it at that time, for whatever reason. But I still go to those albums because they are good. Like, they're really good albums produced. So I think in terms of shows, some of the kids, maybe that will apply to them as well. If the show is like really good and well written, then they'll pay attention to it. But I think a majority of the shows, I don't know whether it will translate, but
it's sad. So I think that's the double-edged sword of art, is that it's very linked to nostalgia, and that's great if you have the nostalgia, and if not, it's like, damn, you missed the boat and you might not feel as strongly about something as you could, and I think that's sad. That makes me sad. Anyway, that's how my week has been. It's a philosophical thought. It kind of is philosophical.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
It's interesting to think about. It's just interesting to think about how the world is moving forward and the different things people value versus the things that you valued, and whether or not there is a moral truth in there somewhere. It's just, it's a lot.
Maybe we are becoming the, oh my God, Sam, we're becoming the new adults. Because you know how growing up,
we're not
like,
becoming the new adults, Afam. I don't know about you, but people did work this week. They woke up in the morning at very crazy hours and went to work for the man. You're not becoming anything. You already are. You're smack in the middle of it. That's the new normal.
But I'm just saying, like, you know how growing up, like, you'd see adults like trying to like push down, like, oh, this is the music that was great, and you're like, man, like,
that's us now.
What are you trying to tell me?
Yep.
Like, these are the shows that were great, and
we
then
are grandma and grandpa.
No.
Yeah, that's us.
Oh my God. Can you? But I don't understand how me telling you that Malcolm in the Middle is a good show is a bad thing, because it's a great show objectively. But some kid somewhere is like, shut the
exactly. What on earth is this you're proposing?
I'd rather watch something else. I'd rather watch Kaisenat streams. Oh, that's so sad.
Hey, time doesn't stop. Time doesn't stop.
Anyway, Sam, have you been? Otherwise, have you been?
Oh.
Let me not.
I mean, I've just been chill. Rounding up, sort of starting to round up.
How's
my visit.
Nigeria?
It's hot, but it's cool. It's cool.
It's hot, but it's cool. Okay, thanks, Sam. That was very descriptive of you.
It's okay. It's chill. I am enjoying my little vacay. I've been able to rest a bit, which is cool. I need to get back to the grind though. I need to get back to the grind. So I will be back soon, or I'm already back, depending on when you're listening to this. Let's get into the episode. There's nothing going on with me, man. My life is my life at this point.
All right, man. Let's get into it, and let's get into it with a gentleman called Zeji the Fundi, because he fixes things, I guess. So Zeji I think he went on a mini rant, because I saw many posts. Like on TikTok and on Instagram, and I really couldn't follow all of them. But there's one where he was kind of saying, actually, you know what? Let me play it right now, and then we'll get back to talk about it.
What up, guys? I got a bone to pick with a little Kenyan musicians. Why yo shit sound generic? Come on now. Yo, everybody's using a type beat, yo. Come on. Like, I want to hear something new. Everyone's a trap beat. 2000s beat, Gengetone. Anything else? Come on. Something like original. Producers, come on, man. Like, I'm actually going to talk to the producers, because the artists basically have no choice here. They kind of choose familiar songs. Maybe they choose familiar beats, and that's okay. I know some of you producers also say, oh, the artists never choose my unique beats, and that's fine. But what I want y'all both to do is get out of your comfort zone. Oh, I don't know how to rap on this beat. That's because you're comfortable. Oh, I don't know how to make this beat. That's because you're comfortable. Go make an uncomfortable beat that makes people be like, yo, what the hell is this? Ew.
So now that you guys have heard, essentially, Zeji is kind of saying...
It's coming at everybody.
Industry,
shooting at all of you.
It's coming at everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get why Zeji is saying what he's saying, because Zeji expresses himself in a way that's slightly different to everyone. I think he was really pulled in by the rage movement. That's his thing. And rage... at the time when it was like bubbling up, I get it. Like, even me, I was like, bro, I'm not trying to hear anything if you're not hopping on rage beats. Like, you're just behind. Now, I will say, if you're still hopping on rage beats in 2025, you're a bit behind the curve. let me just not like not hold you right now. Rage is kind of old. It's kind of past its prime, unless you're doing like the new age rage, like Playboy Carti and stuff like that. But or if you're going to the real like new age stuff, like Osama-san. Do you even know who Osama-san is, Sam?
Yeah, I know Osama-san. I'm very familiar with Osama-san.
And Netspend. Do you listen to Netspend and Osama-san? Do you even know who I'm talking about?
So I know the names. I just haven't heard a single
Oh, you know
song.
Netspend? No way you know who Netspend is.
I do.
You know who Netspend is?
I know the names. I haven't heard like songs, but I know their names. Like, the name is not foreign to me.
Okay, Sam, I see you. But anyway, if you're still hopping on like the original rage beats like that Kina Chippy Red were pushing, then I'm gonna say you're kind of behind the curve. But I think the essence of what Zeji is saying is that he's taking risks, and he's taken risks to do things that are outside of the mold. Whereas most people in the industry are kind of comfortable sticking to the established lanes that have been and always will be there, such as like is either Gengetone, Arbantone, Afrobeats,
Afropop,
Afropop, Benga infused stuff, R&B, trap as we know it, etc. And he's kind of, it seems like he's very frustrated. And I want to ask you, Sam, do you think his frustration is valid? Do you think we are in a industry where people aren't like pushing the envelope as much, and we're just kind of like just in a rut where we're just doing the same things? There's no innovations, there's no striving to be different.
Yes. It's listen, this is we can never have this conversation without getting on some artists' bad sides, because people are creating and they feel like whenever you offer this kind of criticism like what we're talking about now, it's like it's going against a lot of what they're doing. And if your art is attached to your identity, it almost feels like we're personally shooting at artists. But that's not going to stop anybody. It's something that we have kind of talked about even outside of the podcast. It's where sometimes it feels a little bit uninspired. It feels like we're getting people, like artists are getting into the studio and just trying to, it's like a factory. It's like a factory, just putting the same elements on a conveyor belt and maybe spraying it a different color, maybe swapping out a circle for a square, maybe doing something slightly different, maybe sending it to the other side where it's filled with, but it's still all the same product when it comes out. And we don't have, there's, it's just not exciting. I don't know how to say it without just saying it as plainly as that. Sometimes it just doesn't feel exciting. Sometimes it feels like for a long time now, I've been talking about where's rap music? Like, where's the rap? Where's the rap? The rap music that has been coming out has been okay. It's not nothing that has really caught people's attention like it used to back in the day. Of course, a lot of the Afropop stuff, I'm sorry to say, and maybe there's even I feel that way with like music from West Africa as well. I'm sorry to say, but it's just really a lot of the same music. It's a lot of the same progressions. It's a lot of the same style of drums on those progressions. It's a lot of the same bounce. It's a lot of the same style of vocal producing and writing. And tell me how many songs you've had with Your Waist in it, the father of them all being Davido. It's just the same song over and over and over again, and I feel like our industry is not immune to that, bro. Like, it's just
okay.
Very...
I agree. So here's the thing. For me, I think. So in this argument, it's not about whether people are creating high quality music. It's whether they're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Because people are creating high quality music. And I think there's a distinction there. So you look at the BNs, you look at Zaituni, you look at Kasiva Mutua, you look at, the Blinky Bills, Winyo and Fancy Fingers. Like, people are creating high quality music that's actually really dope. So that's not the argument. But the argument is there anybody who, even you guys listening to this podcast, is there anybody who you've listened to who's released something that made you be like, this is different?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, we have... So this is not to say that we don't have people who don't do that. You listen to people like New Funk. New Funk always releases something that's... Like, genuinely, I would say New Funk is the only person in his lane doing what he does, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you look at bands like Crystal Axis, and they be releasing like heavy rock like stuff. And it's great. That's great. Like, you see, there's Kenyans doing that as well. And I think there's a bunch of other people doing rock music as well, but it's not very prominent. I'd say. So the argument isn't even to say that there's not people doing it as much. Or rather, the argument is not to say there's not people trying to do different things, but it is to say that there's not enough people trying to doing
different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like more people than not are comfortable just sticking to the same lanes. And I feel Zeji's frustration in the sense that, guys, I'm not gonna hold you. Let me just be honest. Sometimes I be listening to the music that comes out, Sam, and I'm bored.
It's just a skip.
I'm bored.
5 seconds in, skip.
Like,
2 seconds in, skip.
And I don't wanna come off as a hater, but it's just like, yeah, like, you listen to, like, as a producer, I wanna listen to something that makes me wanna grab my MIDI keyboard and sit down and work on FL Studio. You know what I mean? There's certain things I listen to that I'm like, nah. Like, I've told you guys in the past, I'm a competitive type of human being. That's just how I am. And so when I hear something and I'm like, wow, this is phenomenal, I'm like, yo, I want to create something on that level or even better. But the thing is, there's very few times that I hear something that stimulates me in that way. You know what I mean? Like, something that's like pushing me to like think about music in a different way. Remember, guys, I'm not saying people are releasing low quality music. I'm just saying I'm not hearing something that's so different. I'm like, what? This is just a different way of thinking about things. And I think we need that desperately. desperately, bro. Like, yeah, we just do. We just do. And I was giving Sam
Inspired.
some examples. I was
Yeah,
just giving him some examples of people who
it's
inspire
lanes.
me.
It's lanes. I feel like there's a lot of artists who started out with the mind and the idea and just the vibe of I want to do something completely different. But the music industry is brutal, man. The music industry would beat you into a specific shape, and often than not, if you do not have the resources, if you do not have the plan, if you do not have a lot of different things that you need to just blow up as an artist, if you don't have that going for you, then it's going to be hard to maintain your uniqueness, because what you're going to have to do is conform into a specific lane so that you can sell, or so that you can be accepted, or whatever it is. So yeah, a lot of them start out the gate like, yo, this is crazy, and then all of a sudden, hey, they just end up conforming.
But I just want I want an artist who makes me feel different, bro. Like you guys will remember that like month period I kept on talking about. Oh, I just watched Santi's streams. Streams on Twitch. Like those days was so like, because these guys, you see them and the way they move, like in Paris and France, and they were in the UK and this and that, and it's just like, wow, like they have a completely different aesthetic, and it's like they're not trying to be the same Afrobeats as the rest of the Nigerian industry. And granted, these artists aren't even as big as the mainstream artists, but I like the fact that they're trying to do something different. And I think that's what we're lacking in a big way. And I was giving Sam an example, right? So you look at somebody like Rema, and he's the biggest example you can give when it comes to Afrobeats right now. Like, you look at his project he is, and you look at the top 10 songs he has on Spotify. None of the He Is songs are on his top 10 songs on Spotify. Except, of course, like Kelebu, which I would view as like a He Is, deluxe song, for example. That's only there, I would say, because it came out recently. But everything else is kind of his old stuff. So, Sam, you tell me, why would an artist as established as Rema try and just go down a whole different tangent that's so risky and so different to what we've come to know him from? None of those songs like Ozeba, Azaman, etc, sound like Charm, sound like Soundgasm, sound like Dumebi, sound like, just his Calm regular down. Or even his Calm Down, even his feature on Soweto, right? Like, none of them sound like that, but he still is taking risks. Like, okay, like, imagine if we, like, even if you listen to that Kelebu song, I was telling Sam this before the pod, it's like controlled noise. Like, bro is literally there in the booth,
it's
like making sound effects.
Whatever. Yeah,
he's going,
he's just saying whatever.
And it's like, he's just making noise. But then, but Sam, it sounds compelling. It sounds good. He's not doing it in a way that sounds like ass. You know what I mean? It sounds good. Now, how come there's nobody who is willing to take risks? I want somebody to take risks. And even in Rema's case, those songs aren't necessarily becoming his best songs.
Yeah.
In fact, like might never become the song that the project that Rema is known for. It might never do that. But I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he didn't just sit down and make Charm forever and ever, amen. You know what I mean? I'm so glad that he did that, because it's different. It's exciting. It's exciting to try something new, even if it doesn't become the best thing ever. Is this just an artist way of thinking? Do you think consumers think like this?
I feel like consumers go to what you don't know. It's hard for you to know that you want something different when you've been receiving the same thing for a long time. You're used to it, so you don't know that you want something different. So it's back to, do we have artists who are one, talented enough, and two, bold enough to go a different lane, like to jump lanes, to do something completely different, to run a different style race, to engage with different types of producers, try different sounds, just do different things. We just have we have a lot of artists and some of them are really brilliant, but then a lot of the times the majority of the pool is the same thing. Do you think, because Zeji was trying to say that, I don't know if he was trying to say it, but then there's the insinuation that sometimes sometimes the artist, sometimes it's also the producer, like the kind of producer, like producers should be on different things now, making different music, and almost convincing the artists to jump on that. Do you think whose responsibility majorly is it for this different sound that you're talking about?
Bro, I think producers have a big stake in the problem. Because I even had this thought. I don't think Rema makes a Kelebu if London isn't super inspired by Lingala music or some shit like that. Because London is ultimately the guy who's going to come into the studio with a super different beat and convince Rema. And then Rema is going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is hard. Let's do this. Let's do this shit. Like, we're both excited. We're doing something different. Like, London has a big part to play in this whole conversation. Well, at least if we're talking about the song Kelebu, right? So, bro, yes, producers have a big, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. Like, even me, like, granted, my execution might have been better with the project that I released this year, but ultimately, I don't want to release just the same things. Maybe for me, it's a taste thing, but like, I want to do something that's slightly different. So yeah, I decided I'll do dance R&B because not many people do dance R&B in our industry, right? And I think producers need to start, like, for me, it's like, bro, let's take risks and do some different shit. Like, bro, let's create something different. Like, I genuinely woke up, it was like Friday, Saturday, and just feeling really tired. There's some projects that come out and it's just like, I have to listen to this, like, bro, like, no, I wanna experience a piece of art that moves me, like, moves me to want to like just make some shit.
An audio experience, yes. We don't have audio experiences anymore.
Exactly.
Hey, so what's the solution,
and for
bro?
me,
like,
I think it's if we're talking about solutions, like, I think it's down to producers and artists and down to people who are willing to gamble. Like, you have to gamble. And then also, like, just know that it might not work out. But I think you also have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with not getting received well. And I was telling Sam this in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, but see,
like,
that's the thing.
I feel like
it will be difficult though, because one, there's many things you have to put into context, because fine, doing something completely different, completely left would be interesting and fun, but then would it be accepted by the masses? That becomes the main issue, I think, is whether or not the masses are going to accept it. And the masses accepting it is what guarantees, like, I have to go do shows and I have to, like, the fans dictate how much I'm able to, how much worth my music is going to have. So you could do something completely left, and if the fans don't gravitate towards it, that's a very risky take. It's a very risky thing to do. And maybe some people are just not comfortable with the risks.
I'm sorry, but I have to say this. No one cares about the fans as an artist. You can't care about the fans. You can't.
What?
You can't.
The fans are everything.
I know that's crazy.
That's nuts.
I know that's crazy to say. That's a hot take. But man. I'm sorry, guys. I have to say this. When it comes to being an artist and when you're creating art, fans are literally the last consideration. on your
Why is that?
docket of things to consider. Because if you start making music for fans, you'll just start making shitty ass music. Like, that's just a fact. You know what I mean?
So
Let me
mad.
tell you something about fans. Fans don't know what they want to listen to. And they only like things when other people like things. There's a lot of sheep mentality that happens, and it's just very toxic. And if you play into that as an artist, you will have mental health issues. Let me tell you, do not, as an artist, I feel like the ideal situation is if you do not care whether your fans like or do not like your music. Now, obviously, realistically, you want your fans to like the music. Yes, I know. But you should try to exist in a space where that is not a huge determining factor of whether you're successful as an artist or not in your head. Which is why I'm saying it's so commendable to see somebody like Rema release a project that is so different from what he's known for and will never get the acclaim that some of his more mainstream projects get, but he did it anyway because that's what he wanted to get out of his system. And I think that's what we need more of in our industry. People who are willing to take that step, even if it might not be accepted as much, just because you feel the need to do that. Just for the love of the game. You know what I mean? And ultimately, the reason why I don't put too much stock into what fans say, yes, although I do agree that fans are very important, it's that you look at certain artists, even you look at people like Tyler. I feel like Tyler was grinding for many years, like in the South African industry, and I'm sure she had fans, but not to the extent that she has now.
Oh, of course not. No.
With the way her project, or the song Water, blew up. Bro, there's a interesting phenomenon that happens where you can be working in the industry for hella long, then you make something that's really different, and people are like, but see, that's Tyler, she just makes that type of music. But then the international community gets onto it, and all of a sudden the international community really, really likes this song. Then all of a sudden you start to see the same people in your industry that were like, oh
no, everyone's fake.
She's cool, but now they start to be like, oh, that's Tyler, that's South Africa, we love her, that's she
it's
represents
all reactionary.
us, she's us, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. The person who breaks out of the mold in the Kenyan industry and doesn't get accepted, just watch. If the rest of the world starts to really gravitate to their music, watch people be like, oh my God, see, we have been telling you this is the next person. We have been telling you guys that you have to focus. That's how people will be. People are fake and they switch up and they see how the music is doing when the energy is right and they hop onto the bandwagon. Yeah. It's just how people are. And that's why I'm saying you cannot, as an artist, worry about these things. It'll just limit you. Genuinely, it will. Now, in this, I'm not saying just go off the rails and release music that's just not good. Because some people try and release creative stuff and then it's just bad.
I mean, that's the other point, because we've had some people try to do different things when it's like, no, don't do that again, please. Thank you. In fact, just go back to the other thing we know you for. We appreciate it.
It has to be creative, but it has to be good. And different. So for me, it's just, I feel what Zeji was saying to my core, man. I'm just not inspired by things anymore. And it's again, not to say that there's no high quality music, because the quality music is there. It's just, I want something that inspires me to be like, what? How did you even make this? Yeah. And why? Anyway,
I feel you. Definitely, man. We need more inspiration. We need more inspired music. We need different things. In other news, I never thought this would be able to say this sentence, but Gengetone and Arbantone are beefing. Gengetone and Arbantone are beefing. Okay, so furthermore, threw some shade to urban artists, and after the release of, I think, Kuno by Soundcraft, featuring some of the major players in that genre, Tipsy G, Spoiler, Cody. He was talking about, rather he said, watu wa ile genre ingine wameungana tena, wameona nyewe solo haiwezi. It's like, all right, like they've all tried. So essentially what he's saying is that they've all tried to go and do solo careers and release solo music, but then it's not as buzzing as they thought it would. So now they've come together. Avengers, they've stopped making their solo movies now. They've come back to just make the Infinity. So not the Infinity, the main Avengers. And yeah, how are we seeing the Gengetone and Arbantone is just a very funny genre, man. Like, how are we having the Gengetone and Arbantone beef? Do you think there's anything to this?
Me personally, at this point, I think it's also just to gain traction nowadays. I think all this beefs and stuff is just to keep the music in conversation.
Bro,
I don't
we
even
say that
know
a
why
lot these days, don't we? It's like we say that a lot.
I mean, even this whole beef with Sijui, Vijay Patelo and Willie Paul. You know, at some point I was like watching the videos and I'm seeing Vijay Patelo dissing Willie Paul, saying he isn't paying him, and I was like eating into it, and I was like, wait, but what if all this is just controversy so that like we can listen to the song? Because I went to listen to the song and watch the video, so I was like, wait, this worked on me. Like this BS worked on me, and
marketing has become
was
so
curious
good that,
enough to go and watch the video as a result.
Yeah, marketing has become so good now that you don't even have to think about it. Like you're just smack in the middle of it. It's really where's good music? How about good music being marketing itself? Why are we doing so much these days to put good music on? I mean, to put our music on in front of people. Like just make dope songs. How about that?
Just make dope songs. I do agree. I mean, so when it comes to like the whole Arbantone, Gengetone stuff and what Father Mo is saying, I mean, it kind of speaks to how a lot of the Gengetone artists were feeling when Arbantone was popping. I think a lot of people behind the scenes were hating. I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, okay, we can't wait for your downfall. I feel like there was people who are just in their rooms just like hating on these Arbantone kids. I think the main divide might be there's a generational divide. There might also be a class divide, but I don't know. I feel like Arbantone artists and Gengetone artists should just get along. I don't see how they're not so far apart. Different.
Yeah, they're not so far apart that it should become like a huge thing.
Yeah, I feel like Gengetone artists and Arbantone artists could create great music together. I don't know why it's like a thing for Gengetone artists to be dissing. And it's usually Gengetone artists dissing the Arbantone artists, to be fair. The Arbantone artists also be saying like Gengetone people are washed and old and boring. So it goes. So that's why I think it's more of a generational divide.
It is.
I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think we should just all get along. Honestly, I just
never
don't know
does
why
anything positive for the industry when everyone is getting along. Like people, you've said it. Why are you doubling back? You said that sometimes we need beef. We need beef to push some of these things forward.
A lot of times we need beef. A lot of times we need beef. You're not right. You're not wrong. I don't know. Anyway, let's see if it results into anything other than just social media back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in terms of other news, and then I guess we could get into new music. I think the one thing I saw that's funny, and I'm just gonna mention this. We talk about PAVRISK a lot, and so they were really highly touting the fact that they distributed $186,000 in its first royalty payout. Yeah. And then I saw a funny post of KRG the Don posting that he got 3,400 or something like that in his M-Pesa, and I'm like, wow, great work, PAVRISK, for representing us to the fullest. So there's still a long way to go when it comes to royalties and just how artists receive the back end for the hard work that they put in. Yeah. Ultimately, $3,000 is what? That's like, bro, that's like less than $30.
3,000 shillings,
like,
you mean?
Sorry, 3,000 shillings. I just listen, we've been telling you guys, we've told you this before in passing. If you're really interested in just tracking your royalties and all that stuff,
get with someone else.
You might want to think about different options.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say different options right now. I don't want to get in trouble with anyone. Just assess different options, because different options might pay you better. Let's just say that. New music, bro. What were you listening to? I mean, there was a big fish who released music this week.
Yeah, Yashinsky finally dropped his project. I guess that's a big fish. Finally dropped his project, Yariyasu. I do not know what that means. Maybe there's some puzzle to be.
Oh wait,
to
so
be
you're
solved.
not the only person bro? I may have been thinking everybody knows what this means.
No,
I don't know what this means either.
I've
just
no
been
idea what that
here
means.
like maybe I'm slow. Maybe I'm the one who's slow.
No, we're all slow. What do you think? What do you think of the project? His second studio album.
So for me personally, and I'm just speaking for Afam. This are Afam's thoughts. Like it's one of the reasons I've had this whole thought process that led to us even recording this podcast in the way we have, in terms of I'm just not inspired by things in the industry. Like, I mean, Nyashinsky is definitely an OG of the podcast, of the music game, for sure. Like, his work is undeniable. He's been there like from the beginning, literally when we were kids. But I mean, quality-wise, one, the mixing is just not there. Like, there's a lot of songs where it's clipping and there's distortion and the vocals just don't sound where they need to be. And I'm not gonna lie, I listened to 3/4 of the project and I kind of tapped out. It just wasn't for me. I didn't feel like he took us anywhere like particularly interesting. And yeah, I mean, it's harsh to say, but like, will I like actively seek out to go and listen to this project again? I wouldn't. And hey, maybe I am the minority. Maybe a lot of people love this project, and my opinion is completely trash.
Are you the drama? Maybe you're the drama.
Maybe I'm the drama. But for me, I'm just like, I just didn't enjoy it, man. And it's just like, I just want our mainstream acts and our big acts to like move like big acts and do things that just like inspire us to
across the board.
Underlings.
Yeah, across the board.
Yeah, to just like want to, you know.
I think it's up to us fans also.
Yeah.
Just sorry on that point. It's up to the fans to also know when to want more. I think maybe sometimes the fans, again, like I think we talked about it earlier, it's just sometimes the fans could just get comfortable in what they've been given for a long time, and so they're just going to be like that. It's really difficult now to shoot him and other artists some bail as well, but it's really difficult because you work on this project for a long time. And you're in the studio, and this is literally your art. Like, this is a part of you. You've been pouring out to yourself, you know, writing songs and everything, and then it drops, and then guys are like, I don't know about this. So that's kind of difficult as an artist.
I just came out of a rant of saying artists shouldn't listen to fans, which is true.
And here you go.
But hey, it's weird. It's like there's music that's objectively good and not. And if a song is distorting and there's clipping and it's just the audio is like, oh my god, I don't want to listen to this on my headphones because it's just harsh. And, bro, you know, there's certain things that is just you can fix that in the studio.
It's pretty interesting. Real quick, and then I guess we can close out on the project. With the big labels, I would think that there needs to be a little bit more quality control. I feel like this shouldn't be a terrible take. I feel like as a big label, because this artist will now be representing you in the country, like we need to see a bit more, because we had some of the same critics when another artist was signed by a big label, and it's like, how did we skip how did we skip getting the basics, like having a song not clip, like pops in the song.
To be fair though, I don't know how much we need to blame, or like how much Sony had to play in this project. For me, I get the feeling that this project was done and then they kind of pitched it to Sony and that the deal got done there. I don't think Sony had a big or a huge hand to play in the creation of the music. So I don't know if it's Sony's... I don't know. I don't know if I would say Sony should have been involved in the.
I know, but you would think that they would listen to the project before it comes out, right? Like they would listen to something before it comes out and catch it. Anyway, that's my again now those are my views. I just feel like we need to have a little bit more quality control. But yeah, so that was that. Calligraph Jones and Masauti dropped. They gave Assurance. That was interesting. Elsie Wameo came out of the woodworks. Didn't we ask where is Elsie Wameo recently? She came out to the woodworks with I guess it's more like a freestyle-ish type, just straight bars, just rapping. Size 4. That was cool. I enjoy her rapping, so enjoyed that. Afa mentioned him earlier. New Funk ain't worth the road. You know what New Funk gives at this point. I think he's carved out his own lane and is sort of working on that sound. So shout out to him. What else did I go to? I listened to Steph Capella's Sumboa with Tesla. That was all right. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for from Steph. But then again, I don't know whether the artists care that we are looking for something from them. The other thing I went to was On My Mind Freestyle again. Another rap by Vallerie Muthoni, just freestyling and just going. What do you think about that one? I
think Vallerie. I think in terms of her recent releases, I think this is one of her best work, and I'm really really like proud of her for releasing this song. I genuinely really like this song. Yeah. I think she's getting back into her her Brown Sugar days when she was really like rapping. Was she rapping as... Wait, I feel like Brown Sugar is like the singer and Vallerie Muthoni is the rapper. Or is it the other way around? I need to confirm that. I will ask her. Anyway, either way, she did a great job. Yeah.
That was cool. And then
do you want me to go in terms of...
just, I guess, one more thing. Maureen Kunga, who's formerly with Elani, released Majaliwa. I mean, it's
what a song.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
It's that Elani sound. So that... She got that right. Shout out to her. I don't know whether she's planning to keep on releasing like a whole solo career. I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, it's good to see her outside.
Okay, so I listened to Wazungu Wako Ulaya by Flyer. So shout out to Flyer. He released a video with this song as well.
Yeah.
And bro is out here always making the impactful songs.
Yeah, and giving us visuals.
Here's the thing, I didn't know...
Giving us visuals at least.
I didn't know how... I'm not so familiar with how Flyer looks, so it was nice to see a video of him. I was like, oh wait, that's Flyer. I was like, wait, that's Flyer. I've been listening to your music a lot. Yeah. So that was nice. So shout out to him. I also listened to Stepsana by Toxic Lyrically. It was okay. I mean, it didn't move me per se. Bro, I feel like Toxic Lyrically right now has a lot of pressure to release music consistently.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's rushing
rushing a couple of songs.
Releases a little bit. So
True.
Yeah, he's rushing a little bit. But that happens with new artists. So let's just see how he goes. Let me see. I listened to Kimempata by Mudoka, so that was good. You mentioned Sumbua by Steph Capella and Tesla. Okay. I listened to Slow Burning by 3N and Tugi. Did you listen to that? That was actually a revelation.
No, I didn't get to that.
I was listening to that. Yeah. So I think 3N is is a Nigerian producer. I think they're called Eniola. And Tugi is Kenyan. And yeah, she sounds really good on that track. So I don't think she's released much. I think she's really just getting into it. So shout out to Tugi. Slow Burning was a good one. Speaking of artists releasing for the first time, we have to shout out Zeji, long time listener of the podcast. She released the song Mangoes in the summer. So shout out to her, man.
Keep releasing.
Can't wait to see what the future. Yeah, keep releasing.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what the future holds. I listened to Njiwa by Idaziz and Yasmina. Idaziz has such an Idaziz sound. Like, he's so unique.
Oh man, talking about lanes, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but talking about lanes, like he's the only one on that lane. Honestly, it's just him. maybe one other person.
All I need to hear is one. All I need to hear with Idaziz is just one vocal note, and I know.
You know exactly what's
one thing. I know. Yeah. Let me see, and I think that's all I listened to. Because we talked in passing about Kiuno by Soundcraft, Tipsy G, Spoiler, Goditana, and Cantel. And I guess we talked in passing about Ngunga by Willie Paul. Yep. So Sam, do you wanna let the people know what we're gonna play for the end of the podcast?
The pick of the week. Yeah, the pick of the week this week, it's redundant, is an artist who I think I'm really starting to enjoy a lot. He's been around for a while, Winyo. I think we all know Winyo. Winyo's vocals, I like the register he sings on. He always seems to evoke some sort of emotion, for me at least. So I really enjoy his stuff. I want to see him outside more. I like to see a Winyo project. Of course, he was just recently on the project with Fancy Fingers, and that was pretty good. So this week we'll be going to Winyo, who has collaborated with Tuka, and the song is Coda. That was Tuka and Winyo with Coda. Some Unz music, some Afro house, and Winyo's vocals are also just so smooth. I love them. Love him as an artist. Yeah, I want to see more.
Yes, sir, man. And yo, shout out to you guys as always for listening to the podcast 149 times. Next week is gonna be the big 150.
And we're throwing a podcast party.
We're okay. Sam has said we're throwing a podcast party, so let's see what Sam has in store for us.
Yeah. Tune in next time. Honestly, it's going to be crazy what we have planned for you. Crazy.
Sam is resorting to lying to you guys. Let me just let you guys know.
Why are you lighting up my spot like that? That's crazy, man. How you just go on me?
You lit up your own spot, by the way. That's not my fault. But anyway, shout out to you guys as always for sticking with us. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that we've been doing this for a while now. Yeah, let's see what the future holds. Wink, wink, hint, hint. For those who are new here, okay. I like to say at the end of the podcast, why are you laughing, Sam?
Right.
Listen.
It's the wink, wink, and the hint. What do you mean?
Hey, what do I mean? That's the question. So I've been trying to start this catchphrase, bro. Start this podcast because we want to see Kenyan artists being paid more and played more. Also, I started a mantra called the 3 C's, which is kind of just like a thing that I do to kind of psych myself up to kind of make music and stuff. And the 3 C's essentially are confidence. You need to be confident in the art that you're creating, because if you're not confident about it, then nobody's going to receive it. Number 2, consistency. Consistency is always better than talent, 100%. If you're not consistent, then you might as well forget being successful in this craft. And the last one is craft, which essentially is every day try and work on improving at your craft. Even if you only have 5 minutes to dedicate to the craft, do so, because it's going to be super, super helpful. And yeah, man.
Facts.
Those are the 3 C's. Sam. Next one is going to be the big 150.
Yeah.
And let me ask you a weird question.
Oh, no.
What color is the number 150 in your head? In your head,
it's
like
if
you had to just say
150 is as clear as water.
What color is it?
Colorless.
For you?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. So colorless.
150 in my head is golden. It's a golden yellow.
A golden yellow, like yellow, or more gold than
it's
yellow,
like
or more yellow than gold.
No, it's like it's more gold than yellow, but it has the elements of yellow. It's a golden yellow in my head. Am I weird for that?
Yeah. Yes.
On that weird note.
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys in
episode 150.